What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, day 9, I think it is, of camp at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and hop straight into the main news that everybody's talking about right now. Um, there wasn't a ton else that happened at camp today. Just a few sound bites from practice today that I will go over at the end. So please stick around for those. But we'll go ahead and hop into the biggest news of the day, and that is that wide receiver Josh Downs suffered a high ankle sprain during practice. And that the outlook right now is that Downs could miss about a month, but the Colts are sorting that out. Josh Downs, who has been lighting it up in training camp so far for the Indianapolis Colts, will definitely miss the remainder of training camp, and his status for the season opener is now in question. Now, for anyone that is wondering, the Colts basically just over a month from now, for the home opener for the Indianapolis Colts, about 4 weeks and a couple days. So definitely very close to that timeline with that high ankle sprain injury. We're not going to know for sure whether or not Josh Downs will be ready for this game until it gets much closer. Um, high ankle sprain injuries typically take you about 4 to 6 weeks to typically go through if you rehab it correctly. So I'm not entirely sure how bad or good it is for his ankle right now. We obviously heard the news that he went down and uh, couldn't put any weight on it. So that definitely didn't sound great at the beginning. But as far as I'm concerned, again, we've seen players when that ankle gets really bad, and then some people are wondering, like, is it a worse injury than that? So a high ankle sprain in which he may miss a month, honestly, probably is about the best case scenario of a bad situation for the Indianapolis Colts. Um, and again, and as far as to how it happened, um, apparently it was a 7-on-7 drill, and safety Nick Cross tackled the wide receiver and rolled him up, and ended up being the reason behind that ankle being sprained. Steichen was, from reports of people who were there, Kevin Bowen and a few others, saying that Steichen was livid when he saw that Nick Cross had gotten Josh Downs injured in a 7-on-7 practice. Again, guys, like, I'm not here to cast shade on anyone. I get the whole aspect of it, and we're about to get into a clip of Nick Cross. Actually, we can just might as well discuss it now because it's one of those things. Nick Cross coming up, they asked him about the play in which he injured Josh Downs. He said, we're playing football, we're competing. Josh is my guy. I love that boy to death. It's just unfortunate. Asked if he should have pulled up, said, we're here to play football at the end of the day. Here's the thing. I do get the aspect. I do get the aspect that you are out here to play football. I totally get it. Um, and especially for someone like a Josh Downs, who is fighting for every single thing that he possibly can to try to convince the Colts that he should be the starting free safety for the Indianapolis Colts this year. But it is 7-on-7, guys. 7-on-7s, you typically are not putting that much emphasis on tackling. Maybe there's some pushing and shoving every once in a while, but as far as full on tackling. They try to discourage that because, they're trying to limit injuries. They're trying to just get stuff done for the offense and whatnot. Even Steichen alludes to this in his post game review as well when they asked him about the Downs injury. And he said, "We got to be smart. We're competing like crazy, but we got to stay off the ground and we can't go down." So clearly, Steichen displeased with Nick Cross making that type of play in that type of scenario. Again, I understand why Nick Cross I understand how he feels, but at the end of the day, you got to be smart. I mean, I know you're trying to make plays. I know you're competing, but you also got to be smart and not hurt guys doing stuff like that. I totally do not think that Nick Cross meant to do it. Totally don't think that. But at the same time, his action is what caused Josh Downs to get hurt. And it was something that he probably shouldn't have done. So that does fall on Nick Cross's shoulder. And thankfully, it's not a season ender. And thankfully, it sounds like Josh Downs will be returning after a little bit of a rest and rehab. But again, we will keep you guys updated on that stuff as we move on. One good thing on the injury front today, we actually saw Dio Adangbo come back to practice today. Said that he's been out for a while with his calf injury. Remember, he got injured on the same day that Samson Ebukam got hurt. But Odangbo is now officially back a little over a week since we had seen him last. But we do see Odangbo back on the field now. So that is a great sign for the Colts defensive line and everything considered. So more and more things to go. Talking about some of the other things that were talked about at practice today. Ryan Kelly talked about the advantage of having a dual threat quarterback like Richardson in the red zone. Said you look at the way that he moves at the weight that he is, it's insane. He's got more reads than I've ever seen somebody have to go through on a single process. So talking about the ability of Anthony Richardson, but also the sheer smart intelligence that it takes to be able to go through some of the stuff that he does. Joe Flacco was actually asked today a couple questions, particularly on his first Colts camp. Said all these young guys on the team are way looking up, or on the team are always looking up to you and saying, "Man, what year is this? How old are you?" Said I think he needs those reminders every now and then that show you how lucky you are to be able to play this game. Michael Pittman also had a couple good plays today, so really great to see Michael Pittman getting involved. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Again, the main aspect of this, Josh Downs gonna miss the remainder of training camp, and there is question marks on whether or not he will be ready for the season opener. Again, we're not concerned about him missing significant time into the regular season, but he definitely could miss the season opener, or he could still be available for the season opener if the ankle rehabs in a good enough way. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this injury and the other news. Thank you so much. And as always, go Colts.